So the terminal side of angle A goes to the point negative 24 over 25, 7 over 25 on the unit circle. So remember, the unit circle is just a circle with a radius of 1, centered at the origin. That's all the unit circle is. So there's my best circle. I was never good at art. Negative 24 over 25 on the x-axis would be probably somewhere over here, because this is going to be negative 1 comma 0 if it has a radius of 1. And then 725 on the y-axis. So this is a rough sketch of where my dot is. We're supposed to find out what sine of A is. Sine of angle A. So in order to do this, sine is asking you to do something with right angle trig, right? It's asking you to do the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse side. So we need an opposite and a hypotenuse to work with. So what we can do is we can make a right angle with the x-axis, okay? And then to figure out what these dimensions are, let's put some labels on it. This is negative 24 over 25 for our x-axis, right? So this side of the triangle is negative 24 over 25. And then this was 7 over 25. Oh, sorry. 7 over 25 over here. Since this is the unit circle, I don't even need to use Pythagorean theorem. I know this is going to be 1. I could do negative 24 over 25 squared plus 7 over 25 squared, but it's going to equal 1 because it's drawn in the unit circle. They say that the terminal side of the point, terminal side of angle A goes through that point. So, but just to check, in case you don't trust me, 7 squared is 49, and that's divided by 25 squared. So I'm just squaring them both. I got 24 squared divided by 25 squared. Add those together, makes 1. Okay, so that whole exercise right there is not something you have to do. If it's in the unit circle, you know the hypotenuse here that I've drawn, it's a radius, so it's going to be 1. Now we can figure out what sine of angle A is going to be. Sine, cosine, or tangent of any angle that you're trying to draw, you can use reference angles. Okay, this would be our reference angle for angle A. And to figure out what that reference angle is going to be, now we just do the sine ratio using this reference angle over here. We think about the opposite, and the hypotenuse is 1. So the opposite was 7 over 25, and the hypotenuse was 1, which just gives us 7 over 25 for sine. Okay, so draw that triangle. Use the reference angle, and I should have been more clear about what the reference angle is. It's the angle that you make with the x-axis when you draw that right angle triangle, right? Because otherwise, with this angle, we don't have any right triangles over here to work with, so we can't figure out what sine is. So let's try this next one. Terminal side of angle theta goes through this point. What's cosine? So there's my rough unit circle. It goes to the point square root of 5 over 5, that's a positive on the x-axis. 2 square roots of 5 over 5, that's again positive. So let's just make a guess. Let's say it's right around here. It doesn't have to be a perfect drawing. But we can make a right angle with the x-axis, and then we can start doing some right angle trig. The the x-axis is square root of 5 over 5, and the y-axis, it's 2 square roots of 5 over 5 here. Right, and I just got that from the coordinates. And so to find out what cosine is, and by the way, this is going to be 1 again, right, because it's in the unit circle. Cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So this is opposite of angle theta. So that means this has to be the adjacent, and this is the hypotenuse. So it's square root of 5 over 5. Let's make a fraction. Okay, square root of 5 over 5.